To finish answering your question, what did that do for me? It made me take a real hard look at the things that I was taught and told as a kid and realize that my whole life has been a lie built on top of lies, built on top of lies, built on top of lies. How far back the lies go, I don't know. But what I do know is the things that we've been told now is not the truth. From our healthcare system to our education system to what we eat, all of it. It's a lie. It's all a fucking lie. And it's meant to divide us. It's meant to dehumanize us and disconnect us from our true power as humans, our source, our third eye. Connect to this, to, you know what I'm saying? To you call it source power, you call it God, you call it whatever you want. We're powerful beings. But when you calcify the pineal gland, and when you convince us we're supposed to be eating decayed animals as our nutrition, when you convince people that that it's just business, right? That there's no amount good enough. There's no amount of money good enough. The house is never big enough. The car's never new enough or fast enough. They need a new pair of shoes, right? That's all conditioning, man. That shit's not real. And where's it gotten us? Are we in a happy society? Are we in a happy world? We've been given everything we need here to be living in utopia. Think about it. When you go on vacation, when you think of paradise, what's paradise? It's the part of Earth that humans haven't fucked up yet. That we haven't raped and pillaged, that we haven't knocked all the trees down and built some Walmart, right? That's when we go on vacation, we go to escape all the shit we've done. We have all the resources on this planet where everyone could eat, everyone could be living comfortable, happy lives as communities. But somewhere along the way, certain people took control of the knowledge, and now they want to control the rest of the people by misinforming them and lying them. Again, how do a very few group of people control 8 billion? Anyway, absolutely. I digress, guys. Sorry.
No, you. No. Hey, go ahead. I was gonna give you the platform to say whatever you want.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
man.
Hey, look. And that segues into my next question when you say control. Let's talk about control your narrative.
Yeah.
Where you and I met, had an opportunity to talk to you and get some advice from you. You can say able to watch Mr. Everything, Victor Andrews, come the father of the narrative. Where was your mindset in terms of the direction of what you wanted out of control your narrative and all the guys that had that opportunity to come out there and work with you, EC3, Adam Scher, and a lot of some of the bigger top names?
Yeah, I mean, I just, it was an interesting concept, and I was just kind of following along. Again, I was down in Mexico for a year. I was kind of completely disconnected from wrestling, but, I worked with EC3, obviously in TNA, and known him, always got along with him well. Was kind of following along with what he was doing. And when I got back here to Orlando area, I just kind of reached out and said, hey, man, I kind of dig what you're doing. And if there's anywhere you think I could bring some value, let me know. I'd be interested. I'm trying to kind of work my way back in a little bit. And it was a cool concept. I just think it was one of those where it was never really meant to be a promotion. I don't think it was more of an idea and a concept. Mm-hmm. And so it kind of, then you get a bunch of cooks in the kitchen and then people start seeing things and everybody wants a piece of it and everyone's going different directions. And you know how it is, man. It's, it's wrestling business. Yeah. So, listen, we caught lightning in the bottle. It was a good little run. We had a lot of fun, met a lot of cool people, did some good stuff. Those seminars that we were running, I thought we really were touching people, really diving into their motivation and who they were as human beings and not so much as pro wrestlers. And so I took a lot of value from that. And and I'll take a lot of credit for it, completely failing, because once I got on board, the old canceled Austin Aries over here, man, when they announced that I was a part of it, like fucking trended on Twitter like 4 or 5 times that day. Everyone's like losing their mind. I was like, Jesus. Yeah, I guess I still move the needle, Guys, I haven't wrestled in 2 years. I still get more heat than anybody in the business. What the hell's going on? All because I don't want to listen to a bunch of strangers about shooting some experimental solution into my arm. I don't know. Everyone hates me for that. And, I don't know if you guys have kind of looked around, but I might have been right.
Yeah, I think you got a lot of flack on some of your views, man. And,
man.
And I think that's the reason why you had this, I wouldn't say reputation, but you were known to kind of rattle some cages backstage, and not always viewed favorably in the locker rooms. You know what I'm saying? But I see you now, and I'm listening to you talk, man. You have a really positive vibe and energy about you, and maybe there's been some change over the years. What do you want people to know about you as an individual, and then even your character, Austin Aries? What do you want people to see about who you are now?
Austin Aries is an asshole. Right?
Right.
Austin Aries is a persona and is a character, right? Now, are there some parts of Austin Aries that come from Daniel? You know, sure. But, you know, it's funny because you said what you said about the locker room is, as I've been back in these shows and doing independence and stuff, I haven't felt it. You know, I read it and people read it, but when I'm actually there, it's the exact opposite. And Mr. Everything, you can, I mean, your opinion, you shared locker rooms with me. You saw, you know, I interacted, saw interactions. I never felt that coming from anybody. So I think, you know, what we have to realize is Twitter's not real. Dirt sheets are dirt sheets. That's not real. It's not the truth, right? If it's coming on your screen, you know, it's entertainment. And when you break down the word entertainment, entertain means control. Mente, mind. Entertainment, enter to control the mind. So we watch things, we read things, we hear things, and then we take from that and go, well, that must be true. That's reality. And it's just not. It's not reality. And so there's a lot of people that hate Austin Aries, and for sometimes good reason, because for a lot of my career, that's what I was trying to invoke the emotion of you not liking me. I mean, that was, as a heel, my job is when I walk out the curtain, I don't want you to be indifferent. I want you to have a strong reaction. Either I love that motherfucker or fuck that guy. But anything in the middle doesn't make me money. And I think, you know, at least for me, it's been much harder in life to make everybody like me than it is to make everybody dislike me. And then when you see the world differently, when you challenge the narrative, when you challenge conventional wisdom, when you say no, that's wrong, that does ruffle feathers, because now people start questioning their belief system. And now when you make people start questioning their belief system, that makes them uncomfortable. They start pushing back on you, right? And so, you know, I think there's a part of that. Now, that being said, I'm an emotional cat, man. I'm a passionate, emotional guy. That has worked in my favor and made me a very good performer. And sometimes that's worked against me in the back and dealing with the ups and downs of pro wrestling. Sometimes letting my emotion get the better of me, right? Sometimes let my passion get the better of me, and maybe not handling situations as diplomatically as I could have. But that's part of my growth process. You know, I'm not going to apologize for being fiery. I'm not going to apologize for being passionate. I'm not going to apologize for giving a fuck. Because that is, you ask, like, what do you want people to know about me? One of my favorite sayings is, nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And one thing about me is I passionately care about what's happening around me, not just to me, but to the people around me too. And I don't want to change that because I think that's a beautiful quality to have, but it can get you in trouble sometimes. Because, you know, this wrestling business hasn't always been run by the most upstanding, ethical, you know, people full of integrity. I think we can all, if we look back in the history, I think we can all agree on that this can be a seedy and a shady business. If I'm the guy who pushed back against that and said, no, that's not right, no, that's bullshit, does that make me the bad guy? If I was saying, no, we shouldn't treat people like that, we shouldn't take advantage of people like that, we should pay for their health insurance, we should make sure they get a bed to sleep in tonight instead of packing 12 guys into a hotel room, does that make me the bad guy? If you're the villain, if you're being positioned in the villain, in an industry full of villains.
Real villains. Yeah.
Maybe it's because I pushed against it and said, no, man, this shit ain't right. We need to do better. And now maybe I didn't always do it the right way. Maybe I wasn't always diplomatic, right? Maybe the passion got the best of me. Maybe the fire got the best of me. Absolutely. I'll own that. But, you know, I think, you know, I'm not I think. I know at my core, like, Daniel is a good person. Genuinely cares about people, what's going on around him, wants to help people in the wrestling industry, wants to help people outside the wrestling industry. And will speak truth to power. Will stand strong in the face of adversity, and will stand up for what he believes in, right or wrong, you know? And so with that, you know, you're going to make a lot of friends. You're going to make some enemies too. And you got to take the good with the bad.